So today I want to talk about so this morning I woke up to a notification in my Stripe from one of my clients who's re-signed up, and there was transfer. There was an receiving of around $32,000, okay, roughly, because there's some Stripe fees and stuff. So minus that, I've taken that off, and it was into my account. I woke up this morning and I was like, okay, well, I'm grateful for this. And I found myself grateful and really in a regulated state of my nervous system. And that kind of showed me all the steps I've taken to create this. And I'm going to share those steps with you and the part of my formula that, oh, this is working for me, right? I love the morning sun. It's just falling out. I don't know if you guys can feel it on my face. It's just around here on my desk, and I love the morning sun. So I'm tuning in from Melbourne. Where are you tuning in from? Let me know from one hot second. Where are you watching this from? Where are you tuning in from? Connection is so important to be able to consume, to connect, to receive information, because your brain recognizes I'm connected and I'm going to consume this information, and it will decide whether or not this is important to you, whether or not you trust me, whether or not you connect with me, whether or not we're on the same frequencies, all of those things, right? So many of you are already in my world. How are you doing, everybody? So I want to talk about the things I did, the 4 steps that I have used, and I continue to use these daily. Like, there is no way out, but for the fact that whoever you want to become, right? If you want to become an entrepreneur who actually has a 6-figure business, who is a multi-6-figure business, who wants to become a millionaire or multimillionaire, there is an identity that you're holding. The work never stops. The work is the work is the work. The work is to actually always become unavailable to the old version and become available to the new version, right? And a lot of people can go, like, I've seen now hundreds and hundreds of people on my own journey as I became an entrepreneur, online entrepreneur. People either will go like, oh, this is hard, or they'll go like, no, I'm embracing this, right? And the thing is, it will always be hard. Hard is to let go of the energy of who we've been, the struggling entrepreneur, to becoming the successful entrepreneur. There's an energy shift. There's an identity shift. It is hard to become someone new, right? But it's also hard to keep living in the same circumstances and keep getting the same results and getting really upset about it and frustrated and losing hope and faith and not loving yourself and building that resentment. That is also hard. So choose your heart. And today I'm very excited to give this to you. Like, I normally don't do this. I won't come on live. I mean, I've probably done it once last year. And I also do a video so that I can put it on YouTube, but I'm going to do this. Okay, Hamburg. Beautiful. Let me know how you're receiving this. And I want to really dive deep and keep this short, yet give you all the juice, okay? So a little bit of heads up for those of you who don't know my journey, okay? 3 years back, I was rock bottom. I was a single mom, anxious, depressed, really financially stressed, and I didn't have this online business, but I'd been a healer. I'd been playing with energy for almost 17 years, okay? I was a Reiki master. I'd studied different forms. I had some 40 certifications, yet my life was completely crumbling, and I was rock bottom to the point where I felt I didn't know how to do life. I was at that stage, okay? And having 2 young kids, all of those things, it was almost like a 180-degree transformation that I had to do. That's why my leap transformation formula came about in the last couple of years. So from there to becoming who I am today, it's been a process, but essentially there's something I'm giving you that I have used, and that's my quantum leap formula, right? And a lot of you've used this, people who are watching me right now on the live. From there, what happened is that when you hit rock bottom, there's a part of you, maybe you're not rock bottom, right? That's fine. Maybe you already have 5K months, 10K months, and you want to go into, I have clients who want to have multi 6 figures, right? Doesn't matter. Wherever you're at, there is a decision, there's an identity switch that must occur. There's a decision that I want to do this. So for me, it was like, I want to become a 6-figure entrepreneur, because I had hit all levels of, the depth of pain you can hold is the depth of leap, is the depth of receiving you can hold, because now you told your vessel, you told yourself, I'm capable. If you can deal with shit and the denser frequencies that you've dealt with, the lowest points in your life, now you've proven to yourself, I can deal with this. Holding the big stuff will require the same amount of effort, because it's really the intensity of the good or the bad, right? Like that's one of the biggest things that I learned. So from there, I was able to now create multi six figures in my brand in less than 3 years, have clients all over the world, teach people these 4 steps, and also have seen like incredible. I've been blessed to see people change their lives, turn around 180 degrees, create new identities. And I want to share today about how I went on to create, a $32,000 day with one of my clients who's re-signed up again. But at the same time, it should be like, oh, you should be freaking out. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yes. And at the same time, it's like the nervous system's so regulated because I'd been doing the work. And that's what I want to give you. Because when we put something on a pedestal, that's why we're not able to access it, right? So if you want a six-figure business and you want to manifest 5K, 10K, 20K days, 30K days, or months, there's something I want you to understand, first of all, before I give you these 4 steps. I stopped putting them on a pedestal. I stopped making it so freaking big that it's actually inaccessible, right? Because that's what we tend to do. I love that. And one of you saying in that case, I have capacity to hold billions. Now to switch the orientation of what I hold exactly. So the pain that we hold and the wherever rock bottom we've gone, please understand there is always 2 sides of the coin, right? So if you're on the flip side, there's the other side of the coin, and it's about holding duality. So how do you actually take that charge and put it into your business, into your life, where you can catapult? And that's what I call quantum leaping. A lot of you are in my world, you understand that, really a leap. A lot of people don't understand quantum leaping, and it's really like when you change your life really in a new direction where you can look at life differently and you can hold life differently, and you become a totally different person. There's a U-turn, there's a 180 degree turn in your thinking, in your behavior, in the way you're experiencing life. That's a quantum leap. And is it possible? Yes. Is it possible? How do I know? Because I've been able to do it. I've been able to help hundreds and hundreds of humans do it. And there's much evidence on this planet if you actually go and look for quantum leaping. But today, okay, let's dive into it so that we can keep it short. How to create now it's the same thing. You can have a 5-figure day. How to create your 10K, 20K, 30K days. I'm now looking at creating 6-figure days. This is all about creating the energy. Now, how do you do it? To give you a little bit of context again, I was here, rock bottom, 3 years back. I had never seen a face of a 5-figure day. Okay. I was a healer who used to do $80 healing sessions. I had a beautiful studio. COVID happened. It was shut down. Plus a lot of stuff happened in my personal life that actually got me to a rock bottom space financially, emotionally, energetically, physically. I was not this person. And that point, I decided, I was like, I'm going to become a 6-figure entrepreneur. So there are steps that I've taken, and the funniest thing is within 1 year, I was able to create my 6 figures. A lot of you know my journey. If you don't know, also, I would invite you to read my book, Play. I've shared all my journey, how, my kids found me crying on the kitchen floor, what all I've been able to create, and, the process, but the formula's not there because by that time, I really still hadn't nailed it. So here are the 4 steps. In order for me to be able to hold a $30,000 day, or the first time when it happened, I was able to go from previous month, which was a couple of hundred of dollars, to be able to get my first $17,000 day. Okay. For some, it's not huge, but for a person who's financially stressed, single, anxious, depressed mom, okay, self-loathing, has self-esteem has been shaken because of many experiences, divorce, this that, and now I share an incredible relationship with the father of my kids. Again, the same formula led me to create different realities. Okay. And whether you want to hold money, whether you want to hold clients, whether you want to have a massive day in your business, it is that simple. What did I do? I want to share 4 steps. Some of you are already playing with the formula. If you are, this is going to take you further. And if you haven't, please open yourselves to the fact if you're listening to this, you're doing yourself a service. Why are you using your time to listen to this resonance? I want to be able to give you something today, if you're going to listen till the end, that you are able to use physically, practically, logically, illogically, energetically, in all spaces, all realms of your existence, to be able to create results if you actually do this. So if you're listening and you're doing yourself a service, really do it from a place that I'm actually going to receive it, embody it, and do it. And I've had experiences with multi 5 figures, with nothing, to suddenly quantum leaping to $17,000 days, then going back to hundreds of dollars in a month, and then going to, my highest ever has been 22K. And then I played with the energy split payments I've had over a period of time in my business. And then this morning, when I was able to create a payment from a client for $32,000, I was like, okay, I'm going to come and share. There's no gatekeeping in my world, right? So the 4 steps that I have been, now, mind you, I had been holding the energy of 50K months, okay? So this didn't happen by itself. It's not wishy-washy. I didn't sit down on a couch and meditate and then God, source, universe, all of those things just brought it to me and all of those things. No, I believe in all of it, but I also believe in identity creation. I believe we are the operant power. So if your business is not giving you what you want, it's because the business doesn't have a problem. You have an emotional problem with yourself. You have a problem with your identity. Okay. So the first and foremost thing I want to tell you is, if you want to create a 10K, 20K, 30K day in your business, you want to be focusing on your identity creation. You want to focus on the identity who actually has 5-figure days. That's the main piece around the fact that you will become, your business will give you, your business, your bank accounts will reflect what identity you hold. Your identity is your identification of yourself. So if your self is, I have $500 days, okay, maybe that's what your identification is, but you don't identify with someone or yourself as the person who can have 5-figure days, you will not get evidence of it. It's that simple, right? We don't get evidence of it unless we can hold the identity. So I have been notoriously known for creating this leap formula. And here's the 4 steps I do daily. Okay. There is no one day I miss it. There is no one day I'm not a robot. I live like this. This is my way of being. And that's what you want to do. And I want you to know the formula will continue for the rest of your life. It's not through any seasons. It's when you actually show up and do this every day, you can hold bigger and better realities, amounts, clients, scenarios, circumstances in your life. So your vessel increases. Sorry, there's a call coming through. Okay. Step number 1. If I want to go from having 500, 2K, whatever days to actually holding 5-figure days, what do I need to do? First step number 1. So I'm going to give you the 4 steps that I use that are my formula as well. And my private clients use it. My clients in my membership use it. People around the world who have worked with me in different shades and forms or mastermind have used it. Okay. I use this daily. That's how I was able to create these results. Step number 1 is identity creation. If I'm here, and if you guys are enjoying this, drop me love hearts. Let me know this is resonating. I will address all questions towards the end. If you have any questions, put in the comments. Step number 1 is identity creation. In order for me to move from the struggling entrepreneur who doesn't make enough money or makes just enough money to successful entrepreneur. Successful is a word. It means different to everybody, but it has a frequency, okay? Successful or boujee or abundant, whatever you want to call yourself. So moving an identity from struggling entrepreneur to successful entrepreneur, what do I need to do? I need to now create a new identity. So the step number 1 is to understand that I want to create an identity who actually is not a struggling entrepreneur, is a successful entrepreneur. Now, the steps to do that is a part of my formula, which literally teaches you how to create a new self-concept. So simple. I could not make it easier than this for hundreds of people who've used this, for myself. Every day I ask myself, how can I make it easy? And I have been blessed to notoriously, to be able to solidify, condense this information, take years of experience of law of assumption, law of attraction, law of this, law of that, law of correspondence, law of thought transmission, neuroscience, quantum physics. Like, you can go on studying for years, or you could use these 4 steps and get rapid, radical results, because you can leap. A leap is when you go from a couple of $100s in a day to multi 5 figures in a day, because your identity is now that person. Okay. And so it's really important that you're able to do that. So step number 1, create an identity who has a concept of, I receive 5 figures, I have $1,000 days, I have this, I have that, I have $10,000 days. I actually can hold the identity, because you'll be surprised. The quality of your life, your business, what you're getting and what you're not getting is actually a reflection of your own concept, your own identity, right? And I teach that in a lot of depth in the modules of identity creation, where you actually create that. So if you want access, you can definitely reach out to me and access the quantum leap transformation formula. Step number 2, what I did to actually get multiple 5-figure days, okay, is to, and why I'm talking about this $32,000, because the thing is, this is the highest I've had in a day. And that propelled me to come and talk to you guys about it, because there's no gatekeeping in my world. If I can talk about the fact that I've cried outside a grocery store because I was less short of money and I had to call my ex-husband, I can also talk about the days that how I've grown in my business, how I've become the woman I've become, right? And it is possible for anyone. I see women and men come in my world and literally transform their lives and become these new people, these new identities, because now they understand the only thing they've got to nail is not fix themselves, not create something, not acquire new knowledge. It's really like coming back to your truth, that you can shape and form into any identity. You're that limitless, right? Thank you for all the love. So step number 1, you want to be able to create a new identity, an identity who actually is able to receive, and it's their standard, it's their autopilot, their recognition, their identification with self is, this is who I am. And the reason why you're not receiving it, guys, the reason why I was previously not receiving it, and then I started having these days, these successful clients, was to be able to understand that my concept of self was, I don't know how to do it, I want to have this. Because now my concept of self is, I don't have it, I'm not going to get evidence of it. What I believe about myself is actually what I will get, right? And so the thing is, from here, what do you do? Step number 2. Step number 2 is to be able to rewire yourself. So I wanted to create beliefs that match my desired outcome. And that would need me to have a rewired state, a belief system, an operating system that supports the desired reality. So if my reality is that I am a 6-figure entrepreneur, a multi 6-figure entrepreneur, and I actually have multi 5-figure days, okay, what do I need to do? The second thing I consistently did, now this is not new to me, I've been playing with these concepts for now 3 years to be able to create this, but my clients are getting faster results. Also the fact that I now have easy steps, these 4 steps only. Within the second step, how to rewire, there are 4 options. So if you actually access the formula, you will get that. But what I started doing was rewiring myself daily, rewiring myself to, every time I said that, oh, I get multi 5-figure days, the old stories come up, and then you get to go, okay, well, this is what I'm believing. I don't know where they'll come from, who will pay me. Now, those sorts of beliefs do not actually get the outcomes of people actually paying you 5K, 10K, 20K, 30K in a day, or even a month, because the beliefs will create the evidence, right? So you got to rewire yourself. Okay. So the second thing I did was consistently rewiring, to the extent of, I'm driving, I'm going to pick up the kids, I'm cooking, I'm like, and it did become a chore. Initially, when I started, it was like, yeah, I want to change my life. And then it's like, this is how I live. This is how I identify with myself. I'm making a cup of tea. I'm feeling into the energy of a 50K month. I feel into the energy of, now this is another thing I had to rewire myself, okay? And how to rewire yourself, there are 4 things that you learn. I will briefly tell you their hypnosis. I'm also certified hypnosis. I've been doing it for decades. But hypnosis, subliminals, conscious self-talk, and the fourth would be quantum activations, where you actually upgrade your whole operating system. I would do it to the extent where I would literally like make a cup of tea. I would hold into the energy. And what I quickly realized when I started my business, I don't know how many of you can actually identify with this. When I started my business, it was just more like, oh, can I just get a client? Can somebody just come and work with me? I will take any client. I can help you with anything, this, that, this, that. And basically what happens, you just want to receive, you want to help people, you're purpose-led, but it's also like, I need evidence for myself. I'm a successful entrepreneur. And what happens is you're ready to work with anyone. But as you ascend, as you know that, oh, I'm the operant power, I am creating my business, I'm creating these results, what begins to happen is I switched gears and I went like, who do I want to work with? What's the quality of people I want to work with? What kind of clients I want to work with that excites me? Because then when you change your concept, you change the energy, you change who you are and your identities. I only work with clients who excite me. Because not everybody, even if I offer a breakthrough call, which is around 75 minutes, and that is like the shortest way to work with me other than my long-term mentorship, I don't offer it to everyone. If I'm talking to someone and we're in a conversation, if I offer, I know that person is ready to receive. I use my discernment. Now, was I always like this? No. But I started doing it before I actually had enough money to go like, I can reject a client. That is another piece of your identity, right? So step number one, I literally every day focus on the identity of the successful entrepreneur I was way before I became it, right? So I did that. Step number two, I literally rewire myself every day, because the rewiring is what's creating the results. My subconscious is creating the results, right? And step number three, I actually use step number three from my quantum leap formula, which is I use the observer effect. And I've spoken about this for years now. People have had incredible results. I've had incredible results. I've changed every year of my life, how my appearance is, my bank account, my relationships, everything with the observer effect. And the observer effect literally is a quantum physics principle where whatever you observe will change the molecules in the quantum field and get you that result, will come as matter into your field. Okay. Now, for the ones where I've lost you here, or it's too woo-woo, or it's too scientific, take a breath and stay around if you still want to, and really ask yourself, am I ready to learn a new way? Because if I'm operating on the old ways, I'm not getting the results I want, right? And so what we want to do here is observe already. This is in simple words. What I did was I consistently observed my reality, not what is, but what I wanted it to be. And I took that and I consistently observed my reality as is, which meant that I consistently observe all the abundance. I consistently observe if I would get one $7 sales, I would laugh, I would dance, and I would be so happy, like I've sold something for 700, 7,000. It was the same energy, because the energy is an energy, right? And in order for you, if you guys understand quantum leaping, if you guys understand that you need a certain amount of energy, what is quantum leaping? Scientifically, it is an atom, an energy wave that's collapsed, and you've gone into a new line of time, new atoms, right? Thanks for all the love, guys. And so what happens is, if you want a timeline where you're having $30,000 days, okay? Or maybe even start with 5K, 10K, 20K, doesn't matter, wherever you're at, it will feel impossible. That's good, because if it's feeling almost like, oh, it's too easy, you're not quantum leaping. It's like literally taking that energy. And then what happens is, so we need energy. So can you have the same energy for $7? Because you are the person we identify $7 not enough. And human beings are so funny, like we use the energy of money, because if it's a big amount, or now I have a lot of energy, I've quantum leap, I've become this thing. But if I could use the energy and make it really big, and that's why I say, if you experience the depth of struggle and you can use that energy, it's still energy. People quantum leap when they become babies, they have energy and they move into a new line of time. Energy is energy, but how we use it and the meaning we give to it. Because if you have a lot of energy, maybe you're having a lot of energy of depression or sadness, I use that. Energy is energy. You got to learn how to quantum leap with it, right? So the observer effect, to keep it simple, there are modules that you can come and experience. You can DM me, you can contact me, and you can ask for the quantum leap formula. This I live by it really, and that's why I'm able to create these results where I consistently observe the energy, the state, the identity as someone who's getting the right clients. And that is also attached to step number 2. When I did the rewiring, I always say my clients, I get the right clients. I get clients from nowhere. I will get clients who are so excited to work with me. My clients love me. My clients get the best results because I get excited when my clients have results, not because I'm responsible for them, because it just makes me happy. Like yesterday in my membership, people who have this formula, 2 people posted, I did the hypnosis and I've been playing with the energy and I got an inquiry, I got clients out of nowhere. And it gives me the same excitement because I said I cried for you guys. I literally broke in tears because it's a very small thing, but it's not for me. Every time the person gets their first evidence, the second evidence, so it becomes their way of life. There's this good energy that we feel that this is working, and then we start believing, oh, I can do this, I can do anything, I can do this, I can do anything. And when we become the identities who believe about themselves, I'm the kind of person who can do anything, we're going to get evidence of it, right? So step number 3, how I created a $30,000 day was to be consistently using the observer effect, consistently observing what I want as is and not worrying about the 3D circumstances. Your power lies in ignoring that you don't have clients right now, you don't have 10K months or 20K months. So you would say, are you asking me to become delusional? Yes, that's part of the game. That's part of the quantum leap formula. That's what allowed me to consistently have these kind of results, or inconsistently as well. I would say I've had inconsistent results, but I've been able to create such a rapid identity transformation. It's because you have to allow yourself to detach from your current reality, be delusional. That means you plug yourself out of what is and what you want to create. So if you want to have 5-figure days or months, that is a different energy. That's a different identity. And I must be able to plug out. That means I delude, I cut off, and I put my energy into who I want to become. And that's what I get. Exactly, right? And so step number 4 that I consistently use, that's also the formula, is to be able to regulate my nervous system to the identity I'm becoming. Okay. And that's why I said when I woke up in the morning and I saw this and I was like, okay, so normally when I had started my business, I would get big amounts. I would start getting really, oh my God, too much energy and nervous or excited. My brain would look for all the things that will go wrong, because the thing is, our nervous system has a threshold. Because my nervous system had never seen multi 5-figure days when it started happening, it's unsafe. So our nervous system is actually, the quality of our lives is actually a direct image of the threshold of our nervous system, right? And I explain all of this in detail in the module, in the courses. So if you want to access this, but I want to share with you guys about me regulating my nervous system every day. I created safety, I use tapping, I have many other ways that I use nervous system regulation. And we will never be able to hold or receive anything that our nervous system has not felt safe and attuned to. So I consistently had to create safety within myself to go, like, it's safe for me to receive multi 5 figures. It's safe for me to have a 50K month. It's safe for me to have 50K months. And I'm consistently holding the energy of it. It was safe for me to start with 5K months, 10K months, because I'd never seen it, right? Remember, I was a healer doing an $80 healing sessions. So wherever you are in your journey, wherever I was, I actually had to think of where I want to become. Step number 1, create that identity. Step number 2, rewire myself. So I had to look at all the beliefs that I was holding that were not serving me and change them. And there's steps that I used, which are inside my formula. Step number 3, to use the observer effect. And there is a way to do it. That's why a lot of people struggle, because you keep focusing on what is, because it is the simplest way to change your life. I've had people get $1.1 million real estates by using the observer effect, literally. But you can't keep focusing on what is not, what is not, what is not, because you're going to solidify that what is not. And that's what initially I was doing till I actually started really learning what the observer effect is, right? And even Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about it. He teaches it in a very different way. Step number 4, which I consistently do every day, is regulate my nervous system. See, my nervous system is at a threshold. It's almost like your nervous system is your autopilot, okay? So it will not let you do anything, or it'll push away, it'll self-sabotage because it doesn't feel it's safe. So you get up every morning and it's on autopilot that you go, you brush your teeth. You don't have to consciously think about, I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to do this, I'm going to put it's all happening because your nervous system is very attuned to it. It's safe to brush your teeth. It's safe to actually roll in a certain way that you do every morning. Your nervous system's okay. Your nervous system's okay with your best friends, with your people around. It just knows your normal, safe environment or the amount of money that is your energetic minimum or maximum threshold, right? And I don't know how many of you have read Amanda France's book, Rich as Fuck, and she talks about the energetic thresholds as well, right? So when we are not able to create that safety within our nervous system is going to work with the subconscious and make sure it sabotages anything it feels is unsafe. So if I have not been able to create safety in my own system, in my nervous system to hold 5K, 10K, 20K, 30K days, I will make sure unconsciously, my subconscious will make sure that I will either create complications, those clients will not sign up, something will happen. Same thing happens in every area of our life, right? So making sure that our nervous system is regulated to receive and it feels safe. It feels it's autopilot to receive money, to get clients that are excited to work with us. We love doing this. This is my autopilot, like my body. Our autopilot is our body, our subconscious. Like, so if you are getting anxious, jittery, they're all signs that your body is not regulated, because to get a big amount and my body not contracting, my body not going, or over the top excited is not regulated nervous system again, right? And I want to share one thing with you that I personally talk a lot about this with my private clients who want to create, multi six figures in their business, is the fact that, and they all started small, right? I personally, when I started my journey, and, I'd never seen, 10K months, 20K months, none of those things. I was struggling. I'd seen a couple of $100s in my business, to not getting premium clients, to not getting ideal clients. Now I love everybody in whether it's my memberships, people who buy my book, read it, listen to my podcast, you guys on, YouTube, anybody for that matter, but even my premium clients or my private clients or anybody who comes in my energy field and my teachings. There's this thing that I was experiencing when I hadn't, and I started getting a taste of, oh, this is working. I'm getting results. I'm making the money. I'm getting the clients. So my nervous system wasn't regulated enough to this reality, right? Everything that you create a new timeline, it's an energy wave, it's a consciousness, it's a frequency. And if I'm here and I want this, I actually have to literally vibrationally in my body hold the vibration, hold the frequency, and your frequency is really attuned to your nervous system. Can your nervous system hold the frequency of 10K, 20K, 30K days? If not, you will not hold it, or you'll do it once by fluke and it'll never happen again, right? And that happened to me initially. So what would happen is I would start getting a lot of fear. I would get bad thoughts. Okay. I would get bad thoughts about something happening to my family and something happening. So that's the nervous system saying, don't go there. Don't want more, because it's not safe, because I've never experienced it. Unknown means equals to unsafe, right? And so what started happening, I would get these bad thoughts, and I would be like, and that's where you want to identify, is it your fear, is your nervous system, or it's your intuition? Because I would start going like, oh my God, okay, well, this can happen. And I was really big on intuition. So I thought, okay, well, every time I think something, my intuition is never wrong. Like I can put all my money on my intuition. And so what would happen is I would look at that and go like, oh my God, this is my intuition. I have to back off. Because if I do this, I will prove myself right. And the moment if I would do it, it will become true. And then I would go like, look, it was my intuition. I didn't listen. I went for this thing and now I had to pay the price for it. This is all your identity telling you not to receive more. Okay. And so what I started doing is now every time I increase the threshold of the amounts or the quality of clients or the money I want to receive in my business, whether it's 20K, 30K, 50K or more, or 7K day, whatever it is, when I'm taking the threshold up, my nervous system is not regulated to it. What is it going to do? It's going to come up with all potential fears. Don't do this. And they come as thoughts, they come as nudges. They're like, this will happen, that will happen, this will happen. And your ability to identify that this is actually just my nervous system keeping me safe and not giving into the fear and going like, you know what, it is okay. Creating the safety, learn how to regulate your nervous system. There are 4 techniques that I've taught you inside my Quantum Leap formula. So you can access that straight away if you contact me. And the membership, it's at $47. You can access straight away. You can stay there for a month, or you can just be there for a month or for the whole year. I have members who come, we have calls twice a week, and I share this information. We get on the calls. Like yesterday I did hot seat coaching, and it's such a pleasure to talk to my members. I love the men and women in my world who are literally going like, I'm going to do 180-degree turn, and they're showing up consistently because I had to use the same 4 steps that I do daily. Okay, I want you to know there is no bypassing to who you're wanting to become. There is no quick fix. You want a $30,000 day in your business, it will happen. But can you hold the energy? Can you become the identity? Can you rewire yourself? It's not a science project. This is your life. And this is not a rehearsal. It's all happening right now. Are you willing to play with potentials? Are you willing to play with a new identity? Are you willing to play with more receiving? Are you willing to let go of who you've been? Right? And so I would say, guys, like really, if you want to access the formula and you really want to learn, I can give you all the steps, but you got to really become an embodiment of it. Regulate your nervous system, because when I identified that these are all the fabrications of my mind, and I started regulating myself to bigger amounts, and I was like, I'm not listening to this. I'm not listening to my nervous system telling me I will lose this or I will lose that or this or that or this or that. And this morning, for one time, I got a thought, actually twice. I was like, oh, something will happen. And I was like, I'm regulated enough. This is just BS. And you're able to then catch yourself going, instead of going into frenzy and, like really dysregulating your nervous system. Because again, what we can receive, what we can hold, what we can generate and regenerate in our businesses, in our lives, is really how much of our nervous system is regulated and is the threshold. I love you guys. Thank you for all the love. So these are the 4 core steps. There are private practices, there are personal techniques that I do. I share with my members in the Quantum Leap Transformation community. So here's what I do want to tell you guys, that I wasn't always this bougie, abundant light worker, this coach, this mentor, this thought leader. I had to give myself the permission. I was the single, anxious, depressed, financially stressed single mom. Yes, I had many qualifications. I was a Reiki master. I'd played with energy for 17 years. I'd had 2 yoga studios. None of those mattered, because when I was rock bottom, I had tasted the depth of pain and how hard it is to be rock bottom. And at that point, I actually had to give myself the permission to go, you know what, I am going to become a 6-figure entrepreneur. I am going to change my life. I didn't know the how. So please don't get stuck at the how. I'm giving you the how. These 4 steps, if you start doing daily, and if you want to access, you want to come into my energy, so I can hold you, I can provide you with more. You can learn the steps, you can learn step by step, but also be nurtured. Be a part of community who's like you. Definitely contact me and access the Quantum Leap formula. But I wasn't always this bougie, abundant light worker. And that's why I created also my mastermind. So if you want to take your business, if you want to have 5K, 10K, 20K, 30K days, just like this, use these 4 steps, but also create your personal brand. Like today, I stand for Quantum Leaps. I stand for unwavering faith. I stand for consistency. I stand for, creating insane results, because my people know me now. I literally come every day live, and I was like, okay, I'm going to record this, put this on my YouTube, because your personal brand is going to reflect what you believe in, what are your core values, not what you've proven, but who are you? So if you want to have a 20K, 30K day, Who are you? Are you the person? Do you have the self-concept? Do you have the identification? Do you have the self-image? Do you know? Because the mirror will only show you who you are. The mirror only showed me then in physical evidence what work I did, what inner work I did, what I was able to hold through shit, through dense realities. I did not waver. I had unwavering faith, and it didn't just happen because sit on the couch and have unwavering faith. It does take a tremendous amount of unwavering faith to not drop the vision, the identity you want to become. Because a lot of things are going to happen. But if you actually stick to these 4 steps, identity creation, and then really embodiment of that identity, like I've made it so simple, I could not make it easier than that. Then rewiring yourself, simple 4 steps. Don't go looking for 20 steps, how to fix yourself, how to do this, how to do this. You are going to get the $30,000 days when you become the energy and the identity. There is nothing outside of you that will ever provide you anything that you're not within, right? It's all an inner game that is going to reflect, like in the membership, you learn about the mirror principle. Like literally, the mirror principle got me this $30,000 day, or got me the $17,000 day, or 22, or the clients, or the shift, or the woman I become, or the energy I hold, the what I stand for. And what you stand for is when you're going to actually realize within what you stand for, believe and create that. So keep it really simple. Don't complicate your process, because everything exists in the quantum field. There's a potential, and whatever we give energy to will catapult you into those timelines, right? And I really had to create the identity, but hold it in my nervous system. Literally, you've done everything, guys, and you're not getting the results, the money result, or the quality of people that you want to sign up, have work with, experience, whether it's your retreats, masterminds, healings, private sessions, breath work, sound work, facilitation, anything. Understand there's something inside of you that is actually not okay, not feeling okay, has not normalized, that you are, it's your autopilot, it's your standard, it's your way of being to actually work with such kind of people, right? So how do you release it? You release it by the 4 steps I've used daily, and that's what you're going to use, and you're going to change and catapult and hold and invite big amounts of money. Okay, so I'm going to drop some information below, and if you're watching me here, just DM me. The Quantum Leap formula is accessible. It's $47 straight away. You can access all these. You get quarterly calls with me where I take you further into this if you wish to, if you're feeling the pull. Also, the mastermind, which is the Abundant Boujee Mastermind. So if you have a business and you want to create a personal brand, you want to have 6-figure frequencies, whether you can have 2K, 5K, 10K, 20K days, I'm actually inviting you to come into my Boujee and Abundant Mastermind, where I literally did all of this to have these results, right? And I will continue to teach you guys and share this because I want a community where we all are growing. And so the Boujee and Abundant Mastermind includes the 4-step. You get Quantum Leap membership. So you get 2 calls there, and you get 2 business calls with me where I'm teaching you business stuff that I'm doing, not just the energetics, but the business, the behind the scenes of my own business, right? How I create my personal brand. What do I stand for? How do you do the messaging? How do you do pricing? How do you do your packaging? All of those things. So there are quarterly calls there. So in total, you get every week a call with me if you want to play into this energy. So having a 30K day is not hard. It's creating the identity. It's rewiring yourself to actually hold the beliefs to that desired outcome, using the observer effect, and 4th, really regulating your nervous system. This is what I did. And I have so much faith in you, because all of us were born with the same potential. Can you do it? Yeah, anybody can do it. It's about you creating that inside that identity, because you're going to get the evidence of it, right? And I'm so excited for what's to come. So definitely look into the Quantum Leap formula and the Boujee and Abundant Light Worker Mastermind. And if you want any more information about my book, there's information pinned below, my courses. You're again welcome to join the Boujee and Abundant Light Worker Mastermind. It's insane. It's 6-figure value, and I've kept it at 2-digit investment right now. You can grandfather price so you can actually have it. And I'm so excited to see your journey unfold and what you create and what we co-create. And like there's infinite possibilities for you. Just give yourself the permission, guys.